Sagittarius, inspired by a friend of mine who just sent me a picture of a beautiful sunny park that she's walking her dog in, and said, why is it when we see a circle we always want to step in? And someone had made this beautiful kind of Wheel of Fortune type circle, and I said it's reminding me of the Wheel of Fortune. Inspired by that, we're going to look at what it is you might want to step into in this next cycle and affect change. So for you, you've got the Magician. I'm using the Mother Piece card. That's rather lovely cards. The Daughter of Wands, so the Page of Wands, very fiery energy already. The Daughter of Cups, the Page of Cups, so lots of teenage, young, dynamic energy. And the Six of Wands, just going to cover her bits. Six of Wands, success. So for you, I think what you're going to step into in this next cycle is talking about bringing yourself more into the spotlight and using your will, your magician's will, to create in order to make yourself full of love, what you're bringing, the actions and the sort of poetry of the Page of Wands, and full of action with the the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. So sort of excitement and love that is going to bring you to some creative projects that get you recognition. So I love that. Right, let's build on this. Any other energies that we want to build into this picture for Sagittarius? Sagittarius and Sun people, gosh, a lot came out there. We've got the Eight of Cups, which would counsel, why don't you think about doing something a bit differently, or walking away from what you've loved but doing it differently. So it talks about reinvention of your processes. The Five of Discs. Now this is about need, but this looks so triumphant. So to me, this looks like such a beautiful scene, almost like something you see in a cathedral or something. So it feels like saying, from your most needy comes your genius. So think about it in a different way with the Eight of Cups. Think about all your pain in a different way, because it could be where your next creative spark comes from. And then the Six of Discs to go with your Six of Wands, which talks about reciprocity and fairness, and it's got some beautiful sacred geometry on it here, and it says things are starting to get really balanced. It's sort of it's emphasizing the Six of Discs for the Six of Wands. For me, it's saying the right balance in the world is about you being recognized but not shielding yourself from this hurt. And then we've got the Justice card. Yeah, the right balance. I must have seen that unconsciously, but I hadn't consciously looked at it. So it's saying, how can you become more balanced? The Sixes are incredibly balanced. We've got the Justice here. It says to me there's some dynamism and young energy that is going to take all the raw materials of this Five of Pentacles, all this complicated world of hurt, and I'm not sure what they mean in this deck, but for me this looks like the inside of a sort of ceiling of a cathedral. I've just been at the Duomo recently, and I've been thinking about the cathedral in Parma, and it feels like sort of celestial art drawn in a place that people go with their needs and then become inspired. So it feels like your needs inspire this balancing, and the balancing specifically is of fire and water, because you see she's got one pan full of water and one of fire, and that is like your Daughter of Discs and your Daughter of Cups, sorry, your Daughter of Wands and your Daughter of Cups. That is like the very young energy that wants to be romantic, poetic, and the very young energy that is super fired up and interested in everything. If you can balance those two, I think then there's some real genius coming. And that gets you your recognition. And it is to do with accepting what you've been through that's difficult and making some alchemy of it. Yeah, because here we've got is it the Eight of Wands or the Eight of Swords? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of... I want to say the Eight of Swords, but it feels like the Ten of Wands, doesn't it? The way he's holding them. This is the Solar Busca. So there's some burden that would have also tied you up and made you feel very self-victimizing somehow. And so that takes us back to the Five of Pentacles again, but that is going to end up being your genius once you get to grips with it. So then we've got here, so I don't know the system. I think we've got the King of Wands, so feeling passion despite this hard time. What is this? I should have done my research on these. Well, I'm just going to have to go with what I think. So it's growing up your passions. I'm really looking at stuff with this one. This one here, it feels like really identifying with this. Is he a broken lizard or something that's hurt? Something that has been caught in a trap? So it does again feel like, is it part of that dragon that's behind him? It's examining some hurt, brings balance, brings mastery of your passions. That's what I want to say. Let's pull you... so I went into the cupboard of all the different cards today, and I bought these, which are my oldest sort of deck that I used to work with a lot when I was very young, a teenager. That's the animal ally sort of oracle cards. You will have seen them, I'm sure. The 23 of the opossum and the dragonfly. And I haven't got the book with me, but opossum is about playing dead. And it says, I think, from what I can remember, it's like sort of waiting quietly while the threat passes in order to become transformed magically with the dragonfly. So it's almost playing dead in the face of all of this pain that we can see that you've had. Really examining it. Maybe this creature is almost playing dead, isn't it? We can't see what it is, but it's very still while this dragon is moving, making its moves above. So it's being very still and accepting and quiet almost of within this pain that allows you then to come out with the transformation of the dragonfly. The dragonfly, this ancient being, this mystical transforming being, that it always feels like such a blessing when you see it. So there's some sort of transformation coming from being very quiet in the face of pain, or just sort of going very quiet. And then the Two of Wands. Which way do you want to go next? You've got to pick your new way. Both of these wands feel quite sort of unrealized. They're quite see-through at the moment. So you're deciding where to go next. Where to go next, where you're going to be quite visible and everything's going to be very balanced. The Seven of Wands. You can do this, even if it's difficult, even if the task that you're going for next is quite difficult. You've got the ability to stand up to all of those other competing needs, and you will get there. So I really like that. Though you've got the Magician and all of this passionate energy, and then this very balanced energy of the Six. And then a new card again. It's funny, all of these wanting to tell new stories to me today. And this one is because I've not read any of these. Heal, fail, fall, fail, fly. So that feels already quite like the message that's coming through to me intuitively, which is deal with the falling and the failing, and then you fly. So let's see. A great sage once says, you have to break a few eggs if you want to make an omelette. Now is the time for reinvention. Dare to fail, to fall, to get up again. If you want to achieve, to create something new, you must be willing to embrace failure as a muse. Breaking relationship, dream or project points you back to reinvention. Investigate, stay open, perform a review and take accountability for what led to this moment of entropy. Don't waste a single moment on regret or shame. That only slows down your regeneration. Failure and creation are mated for life. Rebuild with confidence. This time you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. It's exactly that. Go quiet like the opossum when you're under attack from life, because there is this change coming. This quietness, in this defeat, leads you to be able to get seen, to be able to recreate. That you're in that cathedral almost of pain at the moment, like in order to create, in order to look at what it is you need to move forward. I love this for you. So let's pull you a creativity card, because this feels about making something. You're jumping in to make change, but only after you've really accepted this loss and mined it for where you need to go next. And as the card said, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. Capable. You can deal successfully with whatever challenges and circumstances arise. That's so beautiful. And there's those horses, like the fire horse in the background. It might be saying you'll be feeling a lot better by the middle of February or whenever the Chinese New Year is. You are capable. Not only are you capable, but this loss or this challenge is giving you everything you need to get into a position of balance, heal, fall, fail, fly. Fly is the next bit. See you soon. Bye.